I was in Charlotte, North Carolina a few weeks ago at a ticket conference with 30 other sports business professionals in a room, and we were discussing ticketing technology. Now, I know a lot of people like to talk about it as if it's 10 years into the future, that we should really be surmising what's really going to go on 10 years from now. But that's not it, or at least that's not the point that I would have. I'm more on applied technology, the technology of now, the future of now. Consider it. If your boss went out and bought you 40 iPads, how would you deliver a good ROI? How would you show that they could actually build revenue for your sports organization? If you can't, the boss will be less apt to buy you something in the future because they'll have already proven that you can't do anything with what you have already once they got on a whim and decided to buy something. So I want you to consider that. You know, a lot of the problems that we have with sports ticketing professionals is that they only think in the immediate, but not of how to use something, how to apply something. Think about it in the sense of what would you do if your ticket provider decided to go belly up or decided upon RFP not to bid? All of a sudden, everything changes for you. Everything changes in how you deliver the ticket product. This is where sports business professionals especially should be developing a ticketing plan to ensure that they know how they can react to certain systems, even if they're current, not so much a newfangled technology of the future. And this is where ticketing technology comes into place. A lot of times when I brought up some of the issues around the room with some of these sports business professionals, they all had really kind of witty answers about things that maybe would happen, like hover cars, or suddenly everyone would receive messages on their Google Glass, like eyewear. That's not what I'm talking about. But think about it from this angle. You all of a sudden have a lot more customer data coming back to you. How do you get that customer data back to you? Well, things such as beaconing, issues in which you're sending out a message and receiving information back. And you can do that because of people's smartphones. Now, I know that 10 years ago, smartphones really didn't exist the way they do now, but consider it. If you now have it as an anchor so you can actually locate people, see when they check in and when they leave, who's actually in the ballpark at what time, and whether or not they are the important people that you want to meet, this provides a lot of great opportunities for you to really develop further. So when you're looking at all of this, it still comes back to the idea of how do you apply this technology? How do you gain that customer data that you might want? And really, what do you do to make sure that the boss is happy that one time that they do slip you some of the technology and do spend the money on their budget and do the things with their resources that they're normally not prone to doing?